the guy also changes. Sometimes the six-pack becomes family pack. And so if you got Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, Relationship and Health Matters with Dudu Shewa. I am Blessing Ekundayo, also known as Dudu Shewa. If you're new to my channel, thank you for joining. Please hit the subscribe button, like, share, and do leave a comment, okay? And if you have been watching me for a while now, thank you for your consistency. I hope you have been blessed by this channel and you're gaining something from it, of course. All right, so today I have an interesting topic. Okay, what I've titled 3 things that no one tells you about marriage. 3 things that no one tells you about marriage. So by God's grace, I've been married now for nearly 10 years, and I've seen marriage, I've seen marriage small. Because the journey is forever. So I mean, still under 10 years, not a long journey, yeah, but I can tell you some things by God's grace, my experiences. And I think that a lot of times, especially when we're single and singles, we have this euphoria and this ideology that things will just continue to be sweet, hustle no bustle, nothing, everything just be smooth in marriage, that's how it's going to go. But I want to bust your bubble, okay? No one ever tells you this, and I think it's important that we all know. It's important that you know that these things will happen, okay? They do happen in marriage, okay? So let's get right onto it. Okay, into it. 3 things that no one tells you about marriage. Number 1 is that you would not always feel in love. You will not always feel in love, okay? There are times where you feel like, okay, I'm not in love with this guy, or I'm not in love with this girl anymore. Like, I feel like I'm not in love. Like, someone please remind me. Why did I even get married to this person in the first place? Okay, there are times that you may feel like that in marriage, okay? And it doesn't mean that you are abnormal or something terrible is wrong with your marriage, okay? It just means that it's time for you to reflect, okay? You will not always have these butterflies in your tummy. When you're dating, when you're courting, lots of butterflies, and you're like, oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. Okay, so it's not always going to be like that, okay? It's beautiful. We always want it to be there, but those butterflies, after a while, they fizzle out, okay? What stays is the real love, the genuine love, the genuine why you got married to this person. And that's why there must be a substance behind why you got married, okay? If you got married because she has an hourglass shape, guess what? If that is your why, I'm sorry to say, but it's not good enough, because when she gets pregnant, that hourglass shape is going to disappear. When she puts to bed, the hourglass shape will disappear. It would not be there anymore, okay? 5 years down the line, the person you got married to 5 years before is not the same body. Okay, the body has been transformed, glory to God. And it's the same thing with guys also. The guy also changes. Sometimes the six-pack becomes family pack. And so if you got married to the person, or you're in love with the person because of the body, so you're in love with the person's body, and you realize that when that body is no longer there, that body that you fell in love with is no longer there, then you may feel like, I'm no longer in love, because the body that I used to see, I'm not seeing it, okay? And so that's why my point is, don't fall in love because of the container, okay? Fall in love because of the content, because of the who that the person is, okay? So there are times that you will not feel in love, and apart from the fact that it could be the body shape and all of that, it could be due to so many reasons, okay? It could be as a result of the challenges that both of you are going through in that marriage, possibly financial challenges, possibly other marital challenges, difficulties that you guys are going through, misunderstandings that you guys are going through, and you feel like I'm not in love with this person. I don't feel like I'm in love with this person, okay? it does happen, it could happen in marriage, but it is not the point where you begin to think of divorce. Okay, it's a point where you sit down, you reflect, you have a conversation. First, before you even have a conversation, you think about yourself. What is going on? Why do I feel the way I feel about this person? Try and diagnose, or troubleshoot or analyze what exactly the problem is, why you feel the way you feel. Okay, and sometimes the truth is you don't even know why you feel that way, you just feel that way. But it's important that after, if you're not able to come down with a reason, or if you have a reason, then you have a conversation, whatever it is, have a conversation with your spouse, you find a good time where both of you can actually talk about this feeling that you have, and see how both of you can address it. Is it about the person's behavior, your spouse's behavior, or is it about you? Whatever it is, okay. And if both of you still struggle to resolve with them, both of you maybe need to see a counselor, okay, a relationship or a marriage counselor, someone who can guide you both and help find out what exactly is going on, and help you both, guide you both through the process. It could also be as a result of sexual issues in your marriage. You may feel frustrated, devastated, unsatisfied sexually. That could be one of the reasons why you just feel like you're not really in love with this person anymore. Not because the person has done something bad, but psychologically it does have a huge impact. It plays a huge impact on how you feel about the person. But no matter how, if you realize that at the end of the day, marriage is not about feelings. Okay, it's a commitment, it's a covenant. So put feelings aside. At this time, another thing you need to do is go back to God. Father, you gave me this person. Father, this is the purpose for our marriage. Father, please renew this love. Bring back that fire. I want to love this person the way I used to love them. Because, man, this marriage is going nowhere. We are in it together, okay, through thick and thin, for better or for worse. Okay, I know some people say for better. But no matter what is happening, it means through the trying times, through the good times, whatever is happening, okay, we gotta make it work. Okay, so the feeling of being in love, those butterflies might not be there. We've got to bring back the spark to our marriage. Okay, we've got to be intentional. We've got to begin to date each other again. We've got to begin to find how we can spend more time with each other. Okay, these are some of the things that you can begin to do to bring the fire back. Okay, what tickled your fancy when you were dating or courting? Bring it back to life. All right, so the reality is that you may not always feel like you're in love in marriage. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, okay, the second thing that nobody ever tells you about marriage, okay, is that there will be conflicts. Okay, that is just like I cannot overemphasize that there will be conflict. There's no better way to put it. But both of you will have misunderstandings. Both of you might be at loggerheads sometimes. Both of you may have to raise your voice sometimes. Both of you, things would happen. Why? Because realize that even if you realize that both of you are from different backgrounds, okay, both of you have different experiences, both of you have different exposures, both of you have gone through different things at different times, both of you are even different. A man is different from a woman, and so the way you will see things as a woman is different from the way a man will see things also. Okay, the way you feel as a woman is different from the way a man will feel. They may not even feel. It's different from the way the man will think. Okay, and so you realize that sometimes over some things that you feel like shouldn't even cause any issues at all, you would have conflicts. Conflict does not mean that something terrible has happened to my marriage. No. Conflict just means that it's an opportunity for both of you to realize that you see things differently. You have different views, and so it's an opportunity for both of you to see how you can talk through those views. During the time of conflict, the time where both of you need to actually manage the conflict very well so it doesn't degenerate into something really terrible. Many times we do not manage the conflict properly, okay? We don't manage our differences properly, and we allow ego to come into play. But my point here is, I could do a video about effective communication tips, effective communication, provide you with tips, how you can navigate that in marriage. But realize that conflict would happen, okay? But at the time of conflict, both of you need to really take things cool. be calm, okay, express yourself, respectfully, let the other person express themselves also respectfully. And what if you find a way of how you can sort of compromise, and reach a fair balance, okay, where one person or the other person, okay, both parties actually, happy, at the end of it. Not one person having to compromise while the other person is feeling, one person feeling sad and the other person feeling happy. I think that's not really good. So both of you reach a fair compromise, but try as much as possible to listen to each other in that period, because guess what, the period of misunderstanding or conflict is, if you manage it well, it actually helps you both to understand each other better. It should actually make you stronger. It should make you bounce back even better, and should bring you guys stronger and closer together. Okay, so my point is, conflict will happen in your marriage. Okay, it is not a curse. It's just a reality. Number 3 is that marriage changes you completely. See, you are not the same when you get married, whether you have children or not. In fact, if children come into the mix or into the picture, your life has changed forever and ever. It's not gonna be the same again. Okay, you see, when you get married, your life is no longer like your own. It's now you and your spouse, you and your husband. Okay, you live with him, you live with her. You can't, ideally you shouldn't do things without carrying your spouse along. Before, if you just go and spend money anyhow, or just do whatever you want to do, go out whenever you like, come back whenever you like. No, when you get married, you now have to be accountable, and some people struggle with that adjustment, and you'll be like, do I have to tell you everything? No, that's the reality. You cannot afford to be married and living like you're single, else you're going to have troubles in that marriage. Okay, that's just the reality of life. Okay, and that's the reality of marriage. Okay, so it's important that you bear that in mind before you go into marriage. If you're not ready to live like you're a married person, then there's no point getting married. Okay, just stay single. So my point is, when you do get married, your life is not going to be the same again. Your life is going to change. Okay, it's important that you accountable to your spouse. Okay, and when children come into the mix, oh goodness, you would realize that now you have additional responsibility. Okay, whether it's financially, emotionally, psychological, everything. Okay, you have to find out how, you have to begin to deal with them, manage them, more challenges, more responsibility, more everything into the mix. I remember when I got married, when I had my first child, it was just different for me. Before, when I would just pick up my keys, I tell my husband I'm going to the mall, I'm going to this place, and that's it. Now I have to think about how to pack this bag, pack this pamper, pack that, pack this, pack that, carry the stroller. It's just like you are traveling, if you want to, just to get them into the car and you're going somewhere. You have to think about all the logistics because you want to get out of the house. Okay, so your life is no longer the same. It's no longer the same. It's no longer the same. All right, so if you're single, enjoy your single life. I always tell singles, you're not disadvantaged. There are so many advantages of being single. So maximize your single life. Enjoy yourself, okay? And when you eventually get married, make sure that you're ready for the responsibilities that come with marriage, because it's not a piece of cake. It's not just a walk in the park. Be ready to work, okay? You're going to work really, really hard if you want the marriage to work. All right, so I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things from this. Okay, these are 3 things that no one ever tells you about being married. Okay, I've shared a bit of my experience and I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment on this video. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Until I see you again, I'm blessing Ekundayo. Bye for now.